Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I think the last time we spoke regarding living love consciously, I think my son came in, so I had to stop my story, and I hope I can recollect it. I think we were talking about, or I was talking about, like hustle culture. And I don't mean in the sense of people hustling, trying to get a job done, trying to, what's the term that everybody's using? Oh my God, upgrade their life. I don't think that's the term, but there's upgrade their life or anything like that by working hard and putting in the work. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people hustling you out of your hard earned money. And it just like infuriated me because I don't mind helping people, but I don't want to get hustled. I don't want people who don't necessarily need help asking me for help. It's very infuriating because I work so hard and I get taxed so much. And I'm talking about by like the government, the entities that we support, like road building, keeping our cities safe, things like that. I get taxed so much. And we get taxed repeatedly. Like we get taxed when we get our paycheck, we get taxed when we buy something, anything. When we give somebody a gift, if it's a certain amount, we get taxed, we get property tax. It's so much. And then you have people taxing us again with like just not wanting to contribute to society. It's super frustrating. And so, how do I deal with that as a person who's trying to live love consciously? It's freaking hard. I have to say, it's freaking hard. It's hard. But I try to help where I can and I try not to judge the situation. So, what happened was I was taking my son to get some milk, and this man was outside. He was like, I want to say in his 50s to early 60s. And he was asking for food. He's like, I don't want anything. I don't want any money. That's what he said. I don't want any money. I just want something to eat. I just want something to eat. And when somebody says that, I just want something to eat, you're like, wow, you're really, needing support right now. Because sometimes people ask for money and they use that money for all sorts of things. But if someone says, I am hungry and please help me get something, it naturally just opens up your heart and you just want to help them. Especially like if you have kids or if you've like been in that situation where because I'm from Haiti and I know there are people in Haiti starving because there's no government help. If your neighbor is not helping you, if somebody's not helping you in your community, then you're out of luck. Whereas in the United States and other industrialized countries, there is quote unquote government help, government assistance. So it's always like, what is going on? So this person's asking for food and I'm with my son and I want to teach my son living love consciously. He's 3 years old. I want to teach him to help people, to be kind, to be just open up his heart and not to like see somebody who needs help and not help them. And then sometimes and I'm not talking about putting yourself in danger. I'm saying just helping by giving them money, by buying them food, opening up a door, smiling, saying hello, acknowledging the person. Things that are like super basic. So I go up to him and I'm like, okay, I can get you something to eat. What would you like? And he was very specific. And he was like, oh, before he was like, I just want to get something for me and my wife. So red flag. He asked me for something, and it was just like one. He just asked me for something very specific. It seemed like for him, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it was from another family member, and he was just saying that's what he wanted, just because. So, and then he was like, also, if you can get me an orange juice, that would be great. So he ordered a meal which seemed like it was for him, and did not order something for his wife, who's he's helping to feed. I was expecting like, can you get me two of this, two of that? Maybe not even the drink because you can drink water. Um, just like okay, but this is like a judgment I'm making, but I wasn't making it at the time. I made it after I just went through the process of just being hustled. So I'm, walking. So I take my son to get the milk. We're coming back, and this guy is like at the pizzeria asking. for food. And I was just like, I just bought you food. I didn't say that to him, but I looked at him and I said, "Oh, you've moved down to you're getting lunch now. I got you breakfast, so you're getting lunch. Okay." And then he looked embarrassed, like, "Oh man, I've been caught," because he didn't expect to see me back. When you do that, you don't expect to see people. You don't expect them to remember you because you're just like a fly on the wall. Like, it's just like you're someone with no face. You may have a smell that they remember, but you're someone with no face. So that's, I think they, this anonymity or being anonymous in this culture of like people struggling and homelessness, like people, like I think people a lot of times we don't see homeless people, but I make it a point to see, to look, to understand what is going on, because God forbid I was ever in that situation, I would want someone to help me. So I try to see people and I try to meet them where they're at. And, I don't have like a judgment about how they got there. I'm just trying to be helpful. All right. So that was that story. And and then when I got home, it just like really pissed me off. But I also had to like check myself. It's like, you don't know what was happening in that man's life. You don't know if he was getting breakfast and then he was like, okay, I don't want to come back out here for lunch. Let me get my lunch now. Or you don't know if he's got like multiple people he's helping to feed. So he's just like telling white lies and stuff like that. Like in that case, I'd rather just you be honest with me. Hey, this is my situation. Da 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 da. And I can choose to help you or choose not to help you. But like if you're lying, then we're building like an interaction based on lies. And all it's teaching me as a person who wants to live in love consciously is to like just constantly be aware of people hustling me. And I don't want to live in a society where I'm constantly thinking about getting hustled. It's not a way for us as a community to work together. It's not the way for us to move together collectively into a humanity that's supposed to be helpful to each other. Like, what the heck, people? So, I guess the point of this 7-minute video is you have to have discernment about people hustling you, people taking advantage. I think that's just like part of society until we can all learn to live, love, and consciously, where we don't have to hustle each other, where we can figure it out how to help each other in a way that is helpful, in a way that is impactful. Then maybe we don't have to hustle each other. And I feel like the hustle culture is like everywhere. It's like everybody's hustling everybody. And does it need to be that way? I say no, it does not have to be that way. And I say living love consciously is the answer. To just be kind, to be loving, and to help when you can, and to come from a space of it's my duty to be kind to my fellow humans. It's my duty to be kind to the planet, to take care of as much as I can that's within my control. And by allowing that, you let God into your heart even more. And I feel like the the diagnosis is like things are difficult, we're getting hustled, and the treatment is love. You massage it with love. You just nurture it with love the best way you can, and you'll jump in and out of that, and that's okay. As long as you come back to that space of loving your fellow human beings, understanding that not everybody's going to make the same decisions that you make, but you still care for their well-being. You still want them to be well and to be happy and to have a good life and to be good humans to each other. And I feel like I'm talking in circles, so I'm going to stop now. But let me know in the comments, how do you feel about hustle culture? How do you feel about people asking you for help when they may necessarily not need it, or maybe they do need it and we're making judgments? Let me know some stories of where you felt like you were living in love and somebody burst your bubbles. Like my bubble was bursted when I came back. I was so distracted that I was walking with my son. He was carrying a bag of chips that he fell just because I was just like, I was so frustrated that day because of just like, are you serious? Like I work so freaking hard. And I think also I hadn't been sleeping, and it was just like, compounding situations after compounding situations. And then for this like guy to just be hustling people for food. And again, I had to check myself. I don't know his situation. I'm being super judgmental. And I hope that every meal that he received, he was able to enjoy under a good roof with people who cared about him and who loved him. All right. I love you guys. Take care of yourself, and I will talk to you again. We just have to live love consciously. All right. Bye.